Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang dan salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Perkenalkan, saya Dina Amelia, dosen Fakultas Sastra dan Ilmu Pendidikan Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia dengan NIDN 0214098401 dan NUPTK 1246262663231143. Pada kesempatan kali ini, saya menyatakan pernyataan diri dosen dalam Unjuk Kerja Tri Dharma Perguruan Tinggi atau PDD UKTPT dengan pengajaran sebagai salah satu syarat untuk mengikuti Sertifikasi Dosen Tahun 2026. Pada pengajaran kali ini, saya akan mempresentasikan salah satu mata kuliah yang saya ampu, yakni Drama Analysis dengan materi Intrinsic Elements of Drama di pertemuan kedua. Mata kuliah ini terdiri dari 2 SKS dan merupakan mata kuliah wajib pada program studi S1 Sastra Inggris untuk mahasiswa semester 3. Mata kuliah ini menekankan pada karakteristik utama dan karya-karya penting drama. Pada tahap awal, mata kuliah ini memperkenalkan unsur intrinsik dan ekstrinsik drama, termasuk analisis terhadap berbagai elemen drama seperti tokoh dan penokohan, tema, alur, latar, sudut pandang, gaya bahasa, serta kontekstualisasinya dengan kehidupan masyarakat masa kini. Mahasiswa diperkenalkan pada berbagai pertunjukan drama dan naskah drama untuk memperdalam pemahaman mengenai kajian serta apresiasi terhadap karya drama. Dengan kata lain, mata kuliah ini mengarahkan mahasiswa untuk memahami dan menganalisis unsur intrinsik dan ekstrinsik drama, seperti karakter dan karakterisasi, tema, alur, latar, sudut pandang, serta gaya bahasa, sekaligus menghubungkannya dengan konteks sosial, budaya, dan kehidupan masyarakat. Melalui pembelajaran terhadap berbagai naskah dan pertunjukan drama, mahasiswa diharapkan mampu mengapresiasi, menginterpretasi, dan memahami drama sebagai karya sastra sekaligus bentuk seni pertunjukan. Capaian pembelajaran lulusan program studi khusus mata kuliah ini, pertama, mampu menganalisis dan mempresentasikan berbagai genre sastra seperti puisi, prosa, dan drama yang dibutuhkan dalam industri kreatif. Kedua, mampu menguasai konsep-konsep teoritis dalam bidang sastra, bahasa, linguistik, budaya, dan pedagogi yang digunakan untuk menganalisis berbagai permasalahan dalam kajian sastra dan bahasa. Ketiga, mampu menunjukkan sikap mandiri, kemampuan bekerja sama, serta berkontribusi bagi bangsa dan masyarakat. Mata kuliah ini memiliki capaian pembelajaran mata kuliah, yaitu yang pertama, mahasiswa mampu menjelaskan karakteristik utama dan karya-karya penting dalam kajian analisis drama. Yang kedua, mahasiswa mampu menjelaskan dan mengidentifikasi unsur-unsur intrinsik dalam drama. Yang ketiga, mahasiswa mampu menjelaskan dan mengidentifikasi unsur-unsur pertunjukan dan pementasan drama. Yang keempat, mahasiswa mampu menganalisis karakteristik utama dan karya-karya penting drama secara mandiri maupun kolaboratif. Metode pembelajaran dan penugasan mahasiswa mencangkup ceramah, diskusi, dan presentasi, praktik, unggahan media sosial, dan juga penugasan mandiri. Kegiatan perkuliahan dilakukan dengan model pembelajaran 100 menit, baik di dalam maupun di luar kelas atau di ruang terbuka, dengan rincian proses belajar 60 menit, 30 menit penugasan, dan 10 menit kegiatan mandiri. Sistem penilaian dari mata kuliah drama analisis ini terdiri dari 2, yakni komponen penilaian dan penilaian akhir huruf mutu. Komponen penilaian terdiri dari tugas pemahaman konsep dan karakteristik drama 20%, analisis unsur intrinsik drama 30%, analisis unsur pertunjukan dan pementasan drama 10%, analisis karya drama dan mini drama performance 40%. Lalu penilaian akhir dilakukan dengan skala nilai 90 sampai dengan 100A, 80 sampai dengan 90B, 70 sampai dengan 80C, 60 sampai dengan 70D, dan kurang dari 60E. Selanjutnya saya akan menampilkan rekaman perkuliahan mata kuliah drama analisis. Selamat menyaksikan.
Hi, good morning everyone. Okay, welcome back to drama analysis class, and today I would like to explain a little bit about the intrinsic elements of drama. However, before we go on to this topic, I would like to jog your memory first about our previous discussion. So last week we discussed a little bit about the history of drama, about drama itself, and also about the types of drama. So before we begin, I would like to ask you first, do you still remember what drama is? Yes, Sultan?
Drama is a form of performance that involves conflicts, emotion, and portrayal of human experiences through dialogue and action.
All right, that's good. Very well. Now, what about the types of drama? Do you still remember the types of drama? Anyone here? Can you please tell us? Okay, Balkis?
There are musical drama, melodrama, comedy, tragic comedy, and also historical drama.
Okay, good. So there are many types of drama, and then we have also discussed about those types of drama last week. So today we're going to discuss further about the intrinsic elements of drama, or in bahasa we talk about elemen yang ada di dalam drama itu sendiri. But before that, I would like to talk about the objective of these specific topics. So this topic discusses the main feature and also prominent works of drama, and it first introduces the intrinsic elements of drama, including character and characterization, theme, plot, setting, point of view, and also language style. Okay, so do you have any questions so far about the objective? No. Okay, that's clear. Next, the program learning outcomes of this subject would be about to master theoretical concepts of literature, language, linguistics, culture, and pedagogy, and then used for analyzing literature and language issues. So later on, our discussion today will help you if you focus on literature, and you're going to later on focus on the analysis of literature itself. So we're going to use the theory and also the concept of intrinsic elements of drama to analyze specific works, okay? And now the course learning outcomes would be you as students can explain and identify the intrinsic elements of drama. Okay. Do you have any questions so far? No. All right. So now let's start with a video.
Not rest until I detonate your heart. Frankenstein, directed by Danny Boyle.
Right. Have you ever read or watched Frankenstein's before?
Not yet.
So basically, Frankenstein is not drama. It was written by Mary Shelley, and it was a novel. Yeah, it was first written as a novel, but then National Theatre, rewrite it into a script, so it becomes drama performance. Okay. So when you saw the video just now, you might see a lot of characters there, and you might see also that these characters have different kind of personality and also characterizations and characteristics. So those are the things that we're going to discuss further. And also we talk about the setting in the intrinsic elements of drama, because the setting is one of the most important elements, okay? Because we can talk about not just the time, but we talk about the costumes and also the properties used on the stage, right? Right, now we focus on dramatic structure and conflict. So basically, this is the basic plot of drama, similar to what we call prose, sama dengan prosa. Okay, so similar to prose, we have exposition, rising actions, climax, following actions, and resolutions or denouement. So for the exposition, we talk about the character. So during the exposition, we talk about the introductions of the character, introductions of the settings and the goals and the motivations and even the relationships among the characters in the story, okay? And then when it comes to rising actions, we talk about conflict or struggles and blocks to the goal or journey. So we talk about things or let's say the triggers that would lead to conflict. Apa yang akan menyebabkan satu konflik menjadi besar. That's what we call as raising actions. And now we talk about climax. it is the turning point. Okay, at this point, usually the main character becomes pretty much desperate, or maybe the main character cannot find any kind of solution, seems blocked by these problems. So that's what we call as climax. And then next we talk about falling actions. It is the aftermath or the result, which means that it is when the solutions from the problems becoming much more appear in the story. Jadi solusinya udah mulai lebih kelihatan di dalam cerita. And then the last will be the resolutions or denouement. For resolutions and denouement, itu closingnya, that's the closing. It is when the problem, the conflict usually resolved. So how many resolutions or denouement do we know so far? 3. Okay, what are the resolutions or denouement? Happy ending, sad ending, and open-ended. Okay, so which one do you prefer? Happy, open-ended, or sad? Open-ended. Happy, sad. Nadia choose. Okay, you choose sad. Dafa. Why, Dafa?
Because sad ending makes the viewer,
Audience.
The audience
the audience feels the story.
Okay.
What the character
Feel.
feel.
Okay, so the sad ending has more emotional connections than the happy ending. Okay. Wow. I myself, I choose happy ending, though sometimes my life turns out to be sad endings, yeah, but it's okay, right? Okay, so this actually, we call it as the Freytag pyramid, or the Gustav Freytag pyramid. So Gustav Freytag is actually a novelist. He was a novelist, and then he created this 5-act plot structure, borrowing from Aristotle and also Horace, the philosophers. Okay, so ini Freytag's pyramids ini juga digunakan di prose, not only in drama. So as you can see here, the exposition, it is when the audience learn about the setting, characters, and also conflict that is introduced, and then the rising actions. It is when the protagonist makes a conscious decision to act, okay, encounters increasingly difficult obstacles on its way, or to save or to get his or her goals, okay, in the story. And then the climax would be the turning point, the changes fate, meaning that after climax, there is no way for the main character or the protagonist to go back to his or her old life. Jadi kalau udah sampai di climax itu ya artinya main karakternya udah nggak bisa balik lagi ke hidupnya yang dulu gitu ya. Something inside of him or inside of her change. Walaupun environmentnya sama, but something inside of him or inside of her change gitu. Bisa jadi dia kembali lagi ke kampung halamannya, going back to her or his hometown, but he's not the same person anymore. Oke, mungkin kayak Adam yang sebelumnya tinggalnya di mana, Adam?
Jawa.
Di Jawa, and then you move to Sumatera, and then when you go back to Jawa, you are no longer the same person gitu. So that what makes it different. Okay, yeah, that what makes it different. Yeah, you have gone through some climax in your life, yeah, turning points. Okay, now we have also falling actions. It is when the conflict comes to an end. Okay, it comes to an end, the plot prints are wrapped up, problems has been resolved, okay, and then the last will be denouement or the resolutions, okay. So basically, it is as simple as that, only like this, only like that, okay. It is what we call as progressive plot. So progressive plot meaning that from the beginning until the end, it doesn't go back to the to the past life. Jadi ada yang plotnya balik ke masa lalu dulu terus ditarik lagi ke masa sekarang. No, it's not like that. Okay, so we talk about progressive plot, and usually in play we focus on progressive plot because it is much easier for the performers and also directors to set the setting, to set the mood, and to make it possible for the audience to understand it. Okay, because they have to perform it. Right? Do you have any questions so far? Not yet? All right, now let's come to the next discussion. We focus first in the Act 1, which is what we call as the introductions, okay, or the exposition part. In the exposition part, we talk about the goal. We introduce the audience to the story world. What are we going to establish here? First, we talk about the main characters. Okay, we talk about the settings, we talk about the relationship, we talk about the background information. So, for example, you are all characters, and this is your, let's say, your stage. And then we have these settings. What you're wearing is also the setting, a part of the setting, okay? Yeah, you're wearing college students' clothes, okay? Meaning that you are around your 20s. It talks a lot about your personalities. And then after that, we talk about the relationships between you and your friends, okay? Or the relationships among you. Maybe some of you are dating, maybe some of you are enemies, we don't know, right? Okay, now we also talk about background information. So in this case, when we talk about the establishment of the characters, we talk about the background information. Each of you, if you are a character here, each of you has different background. You come from different family with different personality, different mother and father, different ethnics, different religion, gitu ya. So that's what we call as background information. You probably also have family problems or family issues that will lead you to become a specific person in the story. Okay. So far, do you have any question? Any question, anyone? Right, not yet. Now, let's continue. Next, we talk about the setup in the Act 1. We talk about the setup. Now, this is where we focus more on the main character. We talk about who are they? Who are you?
I am a college student.
I am a college student. Okay, good. What are their personalities? Okay, what are your personality? What kind of person are you?
Kind, handsome, cool.
Kind, handsome, cool. Great. Okay, what do you want in life? What do you want in life?
Happy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, that's what we call as motivations. You want to be happy. Okay. So each of you here, setiap kita di sini punya motivation. We have motivation in life. That's what drives us. Okay, itu yang membuat kita terus bekerja, berjalan. Okay, and then next, now we will watch this. It is also from the National Theatre. We talk about how the difference between each character.
The old God has blessed me with this destiny. I'll make every mortal man pay for the sins of their real ancestry. Yeah, this one is a fanatical fundamentalist. Yeah! Please, offset extremism with a nice joke. Or something about being a dentist.
I'm Yunan. Hello, everyone. I'm actually not a dentist. Strictly speaking, my doctorate comes from
Yeah, you're a doctor. Rude girl. Science is fascinating, but let's not bore them to death. Next. I'm Bertha. Totally here for the blood and murder, but mainly market research for my erotic fiction. Thank you, Nilu.
I'm Nilu. I was in a child labour camp because I got caught stealing, but now I offer raw juice cleanses to women who need healing.
A very inspiring trajectory there, Nilu.
Hi there. I'm Nava, relatively new recruit, and I'm just here to have a jocular, tranquil, harmonious, fun time with all of you.
Alas, for you. When I said us girlies were taking over a Greek island, she thought I'm involved in Corfu. Arthur, be my guest.
I'm Arthur. I've never been my father.
Daddy issues, we get it, babe. Next.
I'm Sunny. I thought bitches get money by selling teeth, human or animal.
Next. Rex.
I'm
Mr. Chance.
I'm Zena. I'm Tina, and we are identical twins.
Sure you are.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so it is a new play called Bache. So it is also from National Theatre. So if you watch the movie just now, okay, or the short, video just now, you would probably recognize that each character has different personalities. Even they have different types of clothes, and then their hairstyles, and then their makeup, okay? That's what we call as characterizations and characteristics. So it is really important for us to make sure that the main characters or the characters in our story is clear, so that they could deliver specific message to the audience later on. Do you have any question? No.
Yes.
Yes, please.
So in drama plays, do we have to introduce our character first, one by one like that, or we can just introduce by the story?
Okay, so yes, in drama we have to introduce them one by one. Okay, they must have their own time. Okay, so they must, we have to make sure that the audience recognize them, because it is not like reading novel. In the novel, we can just use narrations, but in drama performance, we cannot use narrations. Sometimes we have narrator, but most of the times we don't have narrator. So the specific characters must be able to present themselves. Okay, to make sure that the audience remember them, their characters, their names, okay, through their actions, through their dialogues, through their conflicts, and etc. Okay, that's very good questions. Now we talk about the setting or the world itself. Okay, when we talk about the setting, we focus on where does the story takes place and what are the social rules and cultures or the atmosphere in the story. So here, when we talk about the story, we talk about the setting or the, let's say, the properties that we put on the stage. Okay, so if you want to make sure that the people know exactly the year, you don't have to always mention in this 2026. You don't have to mention that just because you want them to know. But you can, you can use specific clues or symbols that shows it is 2026. For example, so you write that with ChatGPT. They don't really have it like 10 years ago. We don't really even have it like 5 years ago. So it shows that it is around 2025 to 2026. ChatGPT is quite famous these days, right? So we can tell the audience on what year is this or the setting of the time through specific symbols, okay? And even we can tell them through the clothes that we're wearing. If you're wearing petticoat, kalau cewek-ceweknya pakai petticoat, meaning that probably it's in the, let's say, 1870 something year, okay, so it is a long time ago, maybe 100 years ago. So we can also tell them about the specific world or specific setting through their costumes and also the hairstyles, maybe the makeup also, okay? Right. What are the social rules, cultures, or atmosphere? You can also explain that through some of the actions, okay, in the story or some of the dialogues. Okay, maybe as, let's say, we talk about the setting, let's say the setting in Lampung. Kalian bisa bicara tentang bagaimana kulturnya Lampung, the patriarchal family, for example, like that, or the, let's say, apa tuh yang paling menarik from Lampung that you can take. Maybe we can say, piil pesenggiri and other things, okay? A lot of things that we can take that as the main topic to let people know that this is actually cultures in Lampung. This is actually the rules in the family in Lampung, okay? Right. Next. Okay, we have relationship. We have discussed this a little bit. Who is connected to whom? Friend, enemy, family, and rival. This is what you have to make sure in the first place, okay? And sometimes it changes from friends to lover, and from lover to ex, and from exes to enemy, okay? Biasanya gitu kan ya, gitu. Biasanya. Tapi ada yang luar biasa dan tidak seperti itu kok, okay? Right, next we have background information. So this is the past events that shape the present story and also the important context the audience must know, the past events. So if you want to discuss specific discussion, for example, you want to discuss about historical drama, you have to make sure that there are some elements of history in it. Maybe you can use, let's say, video. Okay, kayak dulu beberapa tahun yang lalu, 2 years ago, kita ada pementasan drama Erased. Erased talks about 1998 economic crisis. Jadi Erase itu mengangkat drama tahun 1998. So we try to make sure that we show some symbols. What really happened during those days? What did the college students do? During those days? Okay. Jadi itu juga penting. Right. Do you have any questions so far, anyone? Okay, next, we talk about end of Act 1, which is the inciting incident. This is the closing statement of the Act 1. This is the turning point that changes everything. So it is the moment when the protagonist or the main characters normal life is disrupted. So for example, sometimes you live a peaceful life, suddenly something happens and then your whole life change. Okay, this is the moment, and then this is what we call as the turning point. And then a central problem is introduced. Don't forget that during this moment also we have to introduce some central problems and issues, and also the character is pushed into a new direction. Sometimes in the story, the main character has to go and to choose different kind of directions. Sama kayak hidup kita ya, kadang-kadang kita harus memilih sesuatu yang tidak sesuai dengan keinginan. That also happens in the drama, okay? Because we write drama based on personal experiences, history, and many things, okay? And then there is no easy return to the old life. Tidak ada yang namanya easy return, nggak bisa balik lagi ke old life dengan semudah itu, tidak segampang itu Ferguson, ya, different kind of life, ya. So even though the main character is able to go back to the old life, that main character is no longer the same person. Pasti udah berubah karena udah melewati different kind of things, different problems, okay? Right. So I think that's all about our discussion today. We focus on intrinsic elements of drama, and then we focus on the Act 1. Okay, and do you have any questions so far? Yes?
I want to ask what is the actual meaning of protagonist and antagonist?
Okay.
Because as I know and maybe other people, protagonist is the character who has the good behavior, and the antagonist is the villain, the
villain. Okay, so yeah, right. Okay, so this is really common, yeah. So what is protagonist exactly? Protagonist is usually the main character that is emotionally close to the audience. So basically, when the audience watch the performance, the audience and the protagonist have the similar goal to reach similar ways to reach their goals. That's what we call as protagonist, okay? It carries the audience's feelings and emotions and goals and motivations. Meanwhile, antagonist is not always a bad person, you know. Antagonist is not always a bad person. Sometimes this person also has similar goals with the protagonist, but antagonist has different way to achieve that. A bit opposes the protagonist and also opposes the audiences. Gitu. That's why they are called as antagonists. But they're not always evil. They're not always bad. You know, just they have different kind of way of life and way of thinking. Gitu. Contohnya apa? Thanos, for example, or maybe Joker, who changed his personality from kind to, a bit evil, okay? Right. That's a very good question. Thank you, Dafa. Thank you all for today's discussion. Thank you for your coming as well. Well, give applause for all of us. Thank you so much for today. I really appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. I'll see you when I see you. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Demikian pemaparan pernyataan diri dosen beserta rekaman perkuliahan dalam pelaksanaan Tri Dharma Perguruan Tinggi bidang pengajaran yang saya sampaikan. Saya berharap proses pembelajaran yang dilaksanakan dapat mendukung capaian pembelajaran lulusan serta membangun kompetensi mahasiswa sesuai dengan kebutuhan akademik dan perkembangan industri kreatif. Terima kasih atas perhatian dan kesempatan yang diberikan. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang dan salam sejahtera untuk kita semua.